Hello everyone. So I've got headphones on. I'm back on the webcam rather than the DSLR, which means we've got some breaking news that needs to be recorded urgently. Today I'm going to go through the three missions that are in the JSA Uprising pack as a special sneak peek. The first two are going to be freely available. Then the third one is only going to be for those who are signed up to the Plastic Crap blog on Patreon. It's a nice way to get some exclusive content. You also put into a monthly raffle to win an Infinity Box of your choice and shipped to you, um, as well as kind of support the channel and help me, make more videos and improve the content that I do. So if that interests you, click in the link below and get on it so you can see what this third mission is. The first mission I'm going to be talking about is Reclamation. So in order of setup, you've got a normal 4 foot by 4 foot board, and as per standard for CB, they've given some conflicting information. So in the text, it states about having an 8-inch deployment zone, but obviously in the map, it looks as a 12-inch zone, and it's actually marked on the sides. So I know in an FAQ that has been ruled somewhere that one outranks the other, and I've got a feeling that it's the text, but I might be wrong on that. It's aimed at having 300 points per side, and then in the center you've got the Kuge delegate. And I suppose the aim for this mission is to dominate segments of the board with specialist troopers. So you're not pressing buttons with the specialists, but you are getting more than half of their base into a zone, and the person with the most points in that zone takes control of that zone. So you can use a range of troops for this. They can be, in this mission, they can be both markers as well as minis, which is quite nice because sometimes they always have to be minis. And various ones can use this. So you've got camouflage, spawn embryo, seed embryo, as well as AI beacons, proxies, and G-servant remotes. What counts as a specialist to do that is your hackers, doctors, engineers, forward observers, paramedics, and anyone possessing chain of command. You can't use repeaters or G servants to dominate those areas. So it's got to be the guys themselves, it would seem, or G servant remotes. Anyone in the null state does not count. And I suppose for Shavasti out there, you can do it both in spawn embryo or normal states. As per most dominating missions, the baggage rules do apply, and you get those extra 20 points for sort of staying in that area using baggage. So that's quite useful, although I don't know off the top of my head who is a specialist as well as a baggage. So we're trying to dominate these areas of mining interest in this scenario, and I'm going to explain to you how you get these points. So one classified objective worth 1 point. For the second point, you're trying to control the Kuge delegate at the end of the game. To do this, you need to be base-to-base contact with a specialist, and you get to control them. You also need to be the only one in base-to-base controlling them with a specialist. You dominate the area of mining interest in your half of the table, which is closer to the central line for 1 point. Dominate the area mining interest in the enemy half closest to their central line, gives you 2 points. So you've always got your deployment zone. I'll try and do a map for this. Deployment zone, one area, central line. Then you get 1 point for that. Just over the line, you get your 2 points. Split again, you get 3 points for dominating the deployment zone furthest away from your zone. If you control the same amount of zones as your opponent, then you get 1 objective point, only if the other player controls at least 1. So 0-0 controlling isn't going to get you any points, but if you both have 1 each, you get 1. So it's a really interesting mission. I quite like the fact that you're dominating not only with normal points, but also with troops who are considered specialists. But there's something really interesting about how the board is set up. It's not sort of quadrants, it's sort of segments of the board. So you're almost trying to get as far across as you can. So I think for this mission personally, I think infiltrators are going to be really important. Your TO camos, so you can get over there and survive whilst you're over there, as well as your drop troops, which is nice. So alternatively, you might have some very fast infantry that can sort of super jump or get all the way sort of over on your bikes maybe. So I think that's quite an interesting mission. I suppose people that aren't going to be counted are, people's equipment like mines, deployable repeaters, um, or anyone in the null state. So that's quite important. And you need to be getting at least over half your base inside to be able to score. So it seems like quite a fun mission. I think it's definitely going to make people change up their lists. Mainly to be getting those people who are quite high value in points potentially. That seems like one way. Who's also a specialist, so you might be getting certain characters. Um, Alternatively, I suppose you could spam a load of low point troops and sort of just keep moving. But what I really like about it is the use that you're going to be trying to get infiltrators and TO camos to sort of survive, and there's so much value in having those drop troops in. Um, but usually I suppose you find people with quite poor weapons if they've got um, a drop troop sort of type troop as well as that you don't get a decent weapon, so you're often going to have sort of combi rifles or shotguns to drop in. So I suppose it's going to be interesting sort of to see how people hold that space. I'm really looking forward to this. I suppose you don't necessarily have the delegate model yourself. You can always sort of control a HVT between the two of you, like a third HVT, I suppose, because you're still going to need them for the classifieds. So really interesting, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to sort of giving it a go. I'm interested to see, talking about having area of mining interest. There doesn't appear to be a great deal of lore written alongside this mission, so but it seems to be slightly different um, than sort of your regular just dominating capture. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you guys think. What would you run for it? I've kind of given a bit of my thoughts, but would you do something completely different? So check out the next video where I go through the second mission. And if you want to have a look at the third, get on over to Patreon.